Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm the expert, and the purpose of shot put is to put the shot at max distance.
I'm Emily and I'm going to be the director today. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
No need to fear, I'm gonna teach her.
Okay, you can go whenever.
Sarah's preliminary movement is moving from her standing phase to moving her back leg back into her loading phase. Her loading phase consists of her knees bent, her weight is on her dominant leg at the back, her non-dominant foot is used for stability, her non-dominant hand is also used for stability out here, her dominant hand is on her neck, holding the shot. She has a low center of gravity and her face is facing backwards. The force-producing movement is caused, it starts with the hips and they rotate around, leading the rest of the body with the hand coming around also. At this point, the foot pivots and the torso rotates and protracts forward. The dominant foot also plantar flexes, and the weight transfer is to the non-dominant foot. It is followed by an extension of the extremities, causing the shot to be put forward, which is our critical instant, which is the release of the shot. The follow-through is equal weight on both feet so that there's not a loss of balance, and the non-dominant arm is brought around and down.
In order to put the shot at max distance, I had to use principle 2 and 3, which is the summation of joint force. It means every joint must be used in order from largest to smallest. This is to get the most velocity, force, and acceleration out of my movement. The production of mass force requires the use of all joints that can be used. So this is when my hips are coming around first, which is followed by my knee, and then it's followed by my shoulder, my elbow, and then my wrist.
Principle that is used is principle 1, that's the stability principle, and this is the ability to maintain one's balance, and it's crucial in order for us to make the shot put go at maximum distance. The height of the center of mass, and then that is the lower the center of gravity, the more stable. So when Sarah is doing it, she's going to be in more of a stance, and that's going to help her to follow through with her movement. The location of the center of gravity is the individual is more stable and the line of gravity is over the base of support. And then the location of the base of the support, is the supporting limbs. So her limbs are kind of just supporting her when her arms are going to be straight, and then it's going to be going through once again. And yeah.
The straight and strong principle is the final principle used in shot put, and it is force production is created by strength and flexibility. The straight principle of it is moving from bent positions in the preliminary movement to straight positions at the critical instant. So this is demonstrated when she is in her bent position. She's getting maximum force through the projection of her arm and the straightening of all of her extremities. The strong part of this principle is that she uses all her joints in the correct order without gaps or breaks. So she isn't going to stop in the middle of her movement because that's not going to get her the most force that she can produce. She's going to do it all in one fluid motion to get the most amount of force.
Okay, Emily, so we're going to go back into our preliminary movement, into our loading phase, into our force producing movement, our critical instant, and then follow through.
Oh, I fouled.
Okay, so that was Emily's first attempt at shot put, and there were quite a bit of errors, but that's okay, because we're going to fix them. So Emily's first error was that when she came back, she went to here, so there's hardly any loading phase there, and then when she came around, she took the ball off right here and she threw it.
I'll cut that put out.
Okay, so that was Emily's second attempt at shot put, and it was a lot better than the first one. She really worked on her loading phase and her fall through. Also, she didn't throw the ball this time. It was more of a shot, or a put, I guess. One thing we do need to work on for more practice is her hips. So in her force producing movement, her hips have to beat her arm before it comes around to get max velocity and acceleration to put the shot. Okay, so Emily's going to take her final attempt soon, but first we are going to talk about how she started in the cognitive stage and she's made a progression into the later cognitive stage. She hasn't made it yet to the associative stage, but that will come with more practice. Emily has been focusing on all three principles and she's put them to use, as well as she has been taking my advice. She's been working harder, trying to get rid of some of the limiting factors, and overall she has improved.
Alright, so limiting factors today that affected Emily's performance are that we had the Tough Mudder today at Central Elgin. This just kind of adds some pressure of having other people around and just, you know, performance anxiety kind of thing. Another limiting factor is that she has never done this before. She has not developed any muscle memory for this. She's very foreign to this sport. And another thing that was something we can't control is that Sarah and Emily are different. They put the shot different ways, so it might make training less effective that they're not doing it the same way.
Okay, so overall, when Emily's performing the shot put, she's using her longitudinal axis through the whole thing, as well as when she's in her loading phase, she's going to be using a little bit of the horizontal axis. We are using partial method teaching when I'm teaching Emily because I'm teaching her in different segments and I'm teaching different movements within those. We are also doing a blocked practice, which means that the environment stays the same throughout the whole teaching.
Shot put is a closed movement sport, meaning that there's no outside competition kind of for the movements. No one's trying to make her do worse. It is the entire sport is based around her doing the best that she can in that one moment, and it is a mass practice because Emily's doing each of her puts one after the other without any space between, and she's been given recommendations to fix her put between every